Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Soss number 103 in a US 4 finish, or a satin brass finish. This is the Soss number 103 hinge. That's first and foremost what it is. 103 is a reference to the size of the hinge. The C in the part number, if you see that, simply means that the packaging is a cardboard. These hinges are cardboarded like this, where there are two in a package. You can order odd numbers, although the description might say order them in multiples of 2. You can order 3 if you need. We'll basically just cut the packaging open and remove the contents for one hinge. Speaking of that, you can see that screws are included. Okay. Now the 103 is a very common hinge. You're going to use it on cabinet doors, things of that nature, and applications where you have something that's 3/4 inch thick, the minimum thickness required for a 103. The 103 is available in all of the common finishes, your brass, your chrome finishes, and Soss can do a variety of other colors as well, like nickel and black, things of that nature. Now, generally when you're doing work with a Soss hinge, you're looking for a concealed look. When this is machined into the frame and into the door, you don't see anything when that door is closed, and all you see when it's open is just the knuckle assembly. Soss hinges are incredibly elegant in that regard. They don't require difficult machining. There's really only 2 steps to machining for a Soss hinge. You're just going to machine for the body and then for the plate. So you're going to plunge route for this, but then you're going to route for the faceplate, and you're done in the door and in the frame. It's that simple. It really is. It's 2 steps, but it's transferable, so to speak. A hallmark of the Soss hinge is not only the concealed nature of it, but perhaps a slightly less known hallmark of Soss are the weights of doors that a Soss hinge can handle. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page. From that page you can pull up a link called Soss Usage Chart. They call it a nomograph. Using the door width and the door weight and drawing a straight line between those 2 points, okay, and then following your line to the chart, you'll be able to determine how many hinges and of what size you're going to need. The fact of the matter is, you would be able to, even with a 103 hinge, you would be able to hang something outrageously heavy. For a cabinet door hinge, you could probably hang a 50-pound door with 4 of these. Okay. Soss brags that you want to hang a super heavy door, keep adding hinges. It's that simple. And Soss hinges aren't used enough. I think it's because they're just not super popular or notorious. They're not well known in the industry. But if it's concealed and it's a heavy door, this is a great option. You can take that Soss 218 or 220 hinge and hang 3090 doors and do it with 4 of those hinges, and you're in real good shape. Okay? Well, I said 220, you've got to have a 2-inch minimum door thickness. Let's say a 218. You'd be able to easily handle a door like that with 3 Soss 218 hinges. And as a matter of fact, their chart goes up to 500 pounds when it comes to hinges. Okay? So keep that in mind. The nomograph is an incredibly useful chart. It's where you start when you are thinking about Soss hinges. The only thing that you do have to know is if you're templating for other hardware, not a door closer, but and I'll explain why in a moment, but maybe an overhead door stop, the concealed door stop that you're going to machine the door and frame for. With a hinge, or for that matter a pivot, the vertical axis of pivoting is a fixed plumb line. It doesn't move at all. As this Soss hinge goes through its motion, it doesn't go on a true circle path. It actually arcs. Well, it's more elliptical. is what it is. So that has to be taken into account in all instances, but almost in all instances it doesn't play a significant role. If you're mixing this with overhead concealed door stops or holders, you have to get the templating for that based on how the unit is hung, and the manufacturer will need to know that you're hanging them on Soss hinges. So that might be a downside. A lot of people think that the machining aspect is a downside. It's not. If you make a living with a router, this is a walk in the park. Is just truly the bottom line. Now, there is, back to the item itself, there is an image showing all the important dimensional properties where you're going to see the A, the B, the C, the D, and all the other dimensions. Let's talk about the C dimension, which is the overall height, and we have that at 1.5 inches. That is indeed correct. The width of this hinge is the A dimension. We have that at 1/2 inch. That's correct again. Okay. Overall depth, and that might be a downside because you have to plan on the thickness of the hinge, so you're going to need every bit of 3/4 inch to get that hinge in there, and that's the H dimension that's there. And indeed, it's 19/32. That's as close to 3/4 you can really get. Is that true? Yeah, 5/8. 5/8. But you can see from that drawing, you need to accomplish the important part there is your E dimension, which is how far you hold the hinge back off, and then what your D dimension needs to be. It's that simple, the gap between the two doors when the doors are brought parallel and open. So you're going to machine your pieces this way and route them, and you simply need to accomplish that with your router. Or however you're mortising them. I would assume you're going to use a router. Includes the number 6x1 flathead wood screws. They list drill bit number sizes for drilling the holes. That is a good idea to follow naturally. Okay. Back to the link to the manufacturer's page. From that link, you're going to be able to view the entire Soss product catalog. They have more than just small cabinet hinges. They have much smaller ones, like concealed barrel hinges. They get all the way up to their 220 large hinges. They can do the I think the 216, the 218, and maybe the 220 as a concealed door closer, where there's actually a spring assembly that sticks out of the back, and as you open the door, the spring is put under compression, okay, allowing it to be a self-closing device. So that catalog is there. If you have more than an occasional need for fancy hinges, familiarize yourself with the Soss catalog, maybe even bookmark the link to it. There's also technical links that are there as well, along with some manufacturer original published videos for your review. If you have any questions on the Soss 103 hinge on a carded C in a US 4 satin brass finish, or any other Soss product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.